Hey, raindrops. Yes, welcome to another edition of Reality with the King, where, baby, we are here to talk about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, in addition to your boy going viral again. It's so crazy to me because I really don't be doing nothing. But anyways, before I get started, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel and this video, okay? And hit the notification button so you don't miss an episode. So let's get right into it. Guess what? I actually liked tonight's episode.
Gasp. You said
Do
that?
I hear a gag? Or is it boo, boo, tomatoes, tomatoes? Look, I actually enjoyed this episode. I really did. And one of the reasons why I enjoyed it is because it was the first episode to me where everything was real and genuine. I didn't feel like anything was being manufactured. I didn't feel like people were trying to have a moment. I didn't feel like the shady editors were trying to do these stunt moves that, you know, I'm not too fond of that. I don't like it. So tonight's episode was the first episode where I was like, I literally sat back and said, everything I'm watching feels real. And although it wasn't and that's the thing, it doesn't have to be this big explosive moment that happened. And I'll get to the Gucci party, or the Gucci brunch rather, but I really did enjoy it. So let's get into it. One of the main reasons why I enjoyed this episode has to do with Drew. I love you, sis. But baby, yo man, Ralph. Oh, my bad, Drew. Damn. Ralph is fine. When he was in that confessional with the red sweater, I think it was Givenchy. Drew. Now, look, I know y'all going through a divorce, child. Let's just say, and I've seen Ralph before. I met Ralph in person at the She by Sheree fashion show. I met Ralph in person. Tonight, Ralph was giving thick daddy vibes. Ralph is thick. He's thick like the government cheese thick. Ralph is thick like the thick bacon that you that you fry in the skillet. Okay? Ralph is thick like a snickerdoodle. Ralph is thick like Vaseline. Pause. Ralph is fine. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going to talk about the rest of the episode, and I don't mean no harm, baby. But ladies and gentlemen, and they, can we talk? Was I the only one watching it like, yes, Ralph is fine. I loved it. Listen, it was nice seeing Ralph in the confessionals. We need to see more Ralph. And then it hit me. And I talked about this to Sonya in my interview with her last week that went viral, and we'll get into that too. I said, where's Ross? We haven't seen Ross, that much since the first episode. She was like, well, Ralph is in Austin. Why am I talking like I'm British? I'm trying to do Jamaican accent, and I'm failing miserably. But she was talking about how Ross is in Austin. And I'm like, okay, I get it, but it hit me. This show needs some men. This show needs some men. I mean, we love the girls' drama, but even seeing Ralph for a split second in Drew's music video, auditions or whatever she was doing, it just reminded me that we miss seeing the men. Because since the math ain't math and the happening ain't happening, we want to see more of the men. You actually have 2 men on the show who are top 10. Ross and Ralph are dimes. And it's a crime that we're not seeing them. We need to see more of that. I need to see more of that. The girls and the gays and they need to see more of that. We got to see more of the men. Because seeing these women going through the same stuff every episode is going to get tired. But like I said, I did enjoy tonight's episode. Okay. So one of the things that happened in tonight's episode is the fact that Kandi had a sit down with Sonya and pretty much was telling Sonya that she's riding the fence. And what was interesting about this conversation is the fact that Kandi revealed she's not an emotional person. She talked about the fact that her brother passed away when she was a teenager and she had to keep moving. That's how she processed it. And what did I say to y'all? Everybody processes grief differently. Everybody. Her process was, it happened, let me move on from it and focus on business. That's what happens. And obviously, she has my complete condolences when it comes to that. Everybody does when it comes to anyone passing away. I know what it's like to lose a family member, my mom. It's devastating. But one thing I realized with me and my 9 siblings is all of us process my mother's death very differently, but we didn't judge each other for it. So when she said that she's not an emotional person, she's more motivational, it really dawned on me like, okay, if you want people to accept the fact that the way you process grief is differently and you're not an emotional friend, then I appreciated her revealing that. And I feel like if that's the case, then maybe you really should understand now where Marlo's coming from, because Marlo is clearly dealing with the passing of her nephew differently. You know, like that really struck a chord with me, because one of the things that Kandi has been accused of on this show, not this season, but past seasons, is the fact that people claim she doesn't know how to be a good friend. And one of the things that Phaedra said when she was talking to Nene, remember that scene where Nene had a rooster's nest on the top of her head, giving you Marge Simpson vibes. In this case, it was blonde. And Phaedra was crying to Nene, saying to Nene, you've been a good friend to me. I expected more from Kandi. And they cut to Kandi enjoying her ribeye steak at the restaurant when Kenya and Cynthia accused. Remember when Cynthia said, I was told you were having an affair with Mr. Chocolate. And Kenya had to finish Cynthia's assignment, okay? And then Phaedra got her Esther purse and tried to like wiggle it and boop, pop Kenya in the head. And Portia and Nene got up and said, Phaedra, let's go because you're about to like lose your job pretty much. And Kandi sat there and ate her ribeye steak with the steak sauce, mixed in a little chives and a splash of butter with some garlic and a slice of diced tomatoes. And Phaedra talked about she didn't feel that Kandi had her back. And there were these big conversations about that. And so for Kandi to admit tonight that she's not an emotional person, I felt like, okay, that's something we could have learned earlier in the season. Because one thing about friendships, everybody's friendship is differently. But one thing I will say is, because Kandi did say I'm not an emotional friend. I'm a motivating friend. And we do need motivating friends. But I would like to say this. When someone is dealing with something emotional, that's not the time to motivate them when it comes to business or how to get money or how to start an LLC. You know what I mean? Like there's moments where you have to, especially if y'all are friends, you have to find the emotional bandwidth in order to see how someone is dealing with something. And although this person may not be dealing with it the way you are, it doesn't mean you can't meet them at the emotion. Y'all get what I'm saying? When something happens to your friend and they're emotional, they don't want to hear about invest in the stock market and get $100,000. They need you to be their friend. They need you in that moment. And although that may not be who you are, when your friend is hurting and is looking for emotional support, you're going to have to dig deep down inside. No, not dig deep inside your pockets. You're going to have to dig deep inside the pocket of your heart in order to meet them where they are emotionally. And that's why I'm now fully understanding this Marlo, Kandi, and Sonya issue, because when Sonya was on my podcast last week, she confirmed what I said to y'all, that, listen, Marlo's a lot of things, and we'll get to that later. However.org, Marlo is a good person. She's very sensitive and she's very emotional. And Marlo does show her love in a very big, elaborate way. I don't show my love that way, but there's not one friend of mine, there's not one who's breathing that can say when they needed me on an emotional field, I never met them where they were. Never. I've always have. Because, and I'm a hustler. I love to tell y'all how to start a business. I love to tell y'all how to drink apple cider vinegar with lemon juice. By the way, a lot of people text me about my recipe. Y'all welcome. I'm that boy. I'm that boy who does a happy Sunday post every Sunday to motivate people. So I agree with Kandi in that sense. I'm that way too. But what I've had to learn, when you have real friends want you to meet them emotionally. And that's something that, Kandi, you're going to have to work on if you want real friends. Because a lot of people are saying you have yes people around you. And based on what I've been seeing, just work on that. Okay. So in this conversation, Kandi and Sonya also talked about the fact that Kandi feels like Sonya isn't being her friend, is not being loyal to her. And I just, listen, y'all can read me, y'all do anyway, but I need for y'all, where are my day ones? Because I'm going to talk about some things that I've seen over the course of the franchise of Atlanta to really understand where this is going. Color me confused. I don't see the issue with Sonya choosing not to pick a side. Kandi, you're not helping this argument when it comes to you really are being accused of having yes people around you. We've seen it with the OLG, what they call the Candy Coated Crew. People are saying that, and your argument isn't holding firm, disrupting that, because why does Sonya have to be loyal to you? She's been on the show for 2 years. She met you and Marlo the same time, same bat station. Why does she need to choose you over Marlo? Just because y'all vacation together in Jamaica doesn't mean that there's an alliance. Now it's making me think you like alliances because, and I'm gonna say, y'all gonna read me for this. I don't believe in the Kenya and Kandi friendship. I think that's an alliance. It's not genuine to me based on how Kandi treated Kenya when she got on the show, because Kandi was indeed loyal to Phaedra. Read me if you want to. I don't buy it. I base things off of facts. If y'all believe Kenya and Kandi's friendship is genuine, then believe that, child, believe anything in the world, okay? It's a friendship of convenience. And this ain't the first time that I said this. I said this to some folks privately. Allegedly. I don't see it. I don't see it. And again, I base things off of facts. Yes, can friendships change over the course of the years? Sure. There's no way I came on a show and for the first 4 years of the show, you paid me dust because you were really friends with this other person. And I get that. But all of a sudden, y'all besties? I don't see it. The way you know someone is real friends is when you're able to see if one of them gets fired from the Real Housewives, okay, do they still keep in touch off camera? That's how you can tell if a friendship is real. If a friendship is rooted in reality, if y'all think for 1 second that the Kandi and Kenya friendship is real, y'all the same ones who think Garcelle and Sutton are besties. Let's talk about it. Y'all know good and dang on well, Sutton will never in real life befriend Garcelle. It's all about the alliance of who you're with on the show. Sutton wanted so badly to be amongst the Kyles, the Lisa Rinnas, the Doreets. She wanted to be amongst the cool girls. When they weren't messing with her, she was forced to really be friends with the newbie. And that newbie was Garcelle because they were both newbies. Now, when you look at Kandi and Kenya's friendship, I'm not saying they don't like each other. They do like each other. I'm not saying they don't have a good time hanging out. They do. Kenya is a fun girl. What I'm saying to y'all is this. It's a relationship of convenience. If Kenya Moore was off the show, I promise you they would not be hanging out like this. The reason why it's a relationship of convenience is because if you look at season 5 and season 6 poster, look at the poster. You have Nene, Cynthia, Phaedra, Portia, Kandi, Kenya. Out of those people I just named, I'm going to do this exercise once again. If you look at the poster of season 6, because season 5, the top, Kenya was there, then she left. So let's just focus on season 6. In the season 6 poster, the cast comprised of Nene, Phaedra, Portia, Cynthia, Kandi, Kenya. Out of all those women I just named, 4 of them are no longer on the show. 2 of them, Kandi and Kenya, remain. Therefore, it's a relationship of sheer convenience. We're the last 2 OGs, if you will, who were on the show doing the prime. Sheree is back as the original OG, okay? But Sheree wants to figure out her relationship with the other ladies. Kenya and Kandi only have each other. Y'all know good and dang well, if Portia was still on the show, Kandi will be friends with Portia and not Kenya. And if y'all can't see that, then y'all see what y'all want to see, and that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Y'all see what y'all want to see. Y'all talk to somebody who's been in it. I know what I'm talking about. If Portia was still on the show, I guarantee you, Kenya and Kandi would not be as close as they are on TV. Because one thing I will always say to y'all is reality shows are like the game of Survivor. It's all about an alliance. It's all about an alliance. The only real friendship that I have ever seen on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, a real friendship, like a real friendship, Nene, Cynthia, Phaedra, and Kandi, Phaedra and Portia. And then at some point, Kenya and Cynthia. Because Cynthia definitely from the middle. And I know that because I used to get phone calls at midnight with Nene and Cynthia on the three-way conferencing me in because Nene did not want to show up at the event, the masquerade ball, where Kenya was honoring her. And Cynthia and Nene on the three-way with me because Nene didn't want to show up. But she showed up and showed out. It's amazing how many friends I have, and I didn't even know about it. Yes, Nene Leakes, you legend. Anywho, I digress. So, listen, I know that some of y'all don't like Sonya, and that's fine, but y'all got to start putting on your critical thinker hat and start seeing things that are facts, not things that you're feeling is like, oh my gosh, I'm team so-and-so, so I'm going to ride with the team I'm on. We don't do that reality with the king. We keep it real. So I don't think Sonya's doing anything wrong. I don't. It's okay to have multiple friends. In real life, let's have a real conversation. In real life, when you have multiple friends in a friend group, you don't choose one over the other person. If these two people don't like each other, the way I roll is, that's y'all business, and y'all need to figure it out. But I'm going to mess with you, and I'm going to mess with you. It's not my place to choose sides. Why does Sonya have to pick sides with two women she has known for 2 years? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. It doesn't. And again, when Monyetta was on my podcast, I said to her too, I called you a puppet because you said out your own mouth that when Kandi saw you last season, in a scene where Marla was talking about her, she called you and said you did not have her back. I didn't make this up. Monyetta said that on my podcast. That's why I was like, Monyetta, no shade, and I love you. You're actually making a point for me. Like, you're pretty much saying to us, Carlos, you're right. She called me out or not having her back. So when I came back on the show, I started boom. So it goes to show you that there could be some plausible reasons why people are saying Kandi likes to have yes people. Sheree said it tonight. Do the people wipe her ass? Now, look, I don't know if they're Dr. Nurse or Nurse Betty or Nurse Jackie, okay? But once again, y'all can read me and all this other stuff. I see things at face value. If y'all disagree with me, explain to me why you disagree. Don't just say because you're fans of this one person or you're fans of that person. Where are my critical thinkers? Okay? The raindrops. Where are... Where are the people who don't pick sides? My raindrops be reading me sometimes. Carlos, we don't like this. Okay. Y'all gonna love the next one, though. Anyways, let me get... So, with that being said, what happened over the weekend is my conversation with Sonya went viral because she listed... Well, let me back up. My conversation with Sonya, which is on my YouTube channel, so if you missed it, go watch it. I actually really enjoyed it. And a lot of people did say, Carlos, after your interview with Sonya, I like her. And that's what this podcast is about. I interview people to make sure y'all see a side of them that their shows aren't showing because they got to share camera time with multiple people. So on my podcast, I asked Sonya, if you had a crystal ball, name 5 other housewives you would love to be on a show with. I asked everybody this question. Not only me, a lot of people ask everybody this question. Sonya answered it by saying, Sheree, Marlo, well, I've already worked with Kenya and Kandi, so let me just take them off right here. And let me add Claudia. I think did she say Portia and Phaedra? And she said because Phaedra and Kandi can't be in the same show the same season. So let me add Phaedra and remove Kandi for this season, and then Kandi can come back the following season. It was fine. It was so fine that y'all didn't make that clip viral on your own. Let's have a real conversation. When Sonya listed the housewives she would love to be on a show, not one of y'all made that clip go viral because all of y'all know it wasn't that deep. It wasn't that deep and it wasn't shady. And this is coming from the Shade Master. It wasn't shady. I did not even clip that to promote her interview because I felt like it was a very standard answer that everybody answers. It wasn't that deep for me. Kandi felt that Sonya's answers were shady and said, you want me to get off the show? What about you? They call you boring. Which they do. And I asked Sonya that. I said, Sonya, the girls and the gays and they. And she answered it. But I never thought that was shade. I didn't think that was shade. Everybody answered that question. So then Kandi said, you listed people you were a fan of. You're a fan. Let's stop there. Me and Dustin Ross talked about this on my Love and Marriage recap about the word fan being used against people. What is wrong with being a fan? Why all of a sudden is the word fan a negative connotation? Why? I am a fan of people. I am the king of reality television, and I am still a fan of people. And y'all see that when y'all watch my interviews. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you.
Bitch, I know I love you, bitch. I'm like,
Bitch, I love you. I'm a fan of people. People are fans of mine. What is wrong with being a fan? Do you mean to tell me when you reach a certain pinnacle of success, you have to forget all the people you are a fan of? This is weird. I think it's stupid to make the word fan sound whack. We should be lucky to have fans. I don't care if so are you saying that celebrities can't be fans of each other? I don't like that. I don't like when other people do it. I don't like it in general. I'm a fan of Dustin Ross before I met him. I was a fan of DJ Richie Sky before I met him. I was a fan of all the housewives. Well, I was a fan of the ones who I got, like Kenya. I was a fan of Kenya. I was a fan of Kandi. I was a fan of Claudia Jordan, Kim Fields, Shamari. I was a fan of Keely. Bitch, Keely?
I'm here to be a
and I'm still
director.
A fan. I'm a fan of Tamar Braxton, Tony Braxton, Tawanda, Trina. I'm a fan of a lot of people. Does that mean that the moment I become famous or work with them, I have to, I'm not worthy of calling them people I like? That's not cute to me. If y'all think it's cute and that's shade, yeah, you a fan. We're all fans. if you hit the follow button on someone's page and you don't have their cell phone number, you are a fan. Let me repeat that. If you have social media and you hit the follow button on someone whose phone number you don't have and you don't talk to in 5 to 7 business days, you are a fan. And that's okay. I'm a fan of people. People are fans of mine. Show me somebody. I want to meet the person who isn't a fan of someone. We got to stop that. I think it's whack to intimate being a fan makes you lower class than people. And again, I'm not saying they said that. That is the feeling that it gives. So what if Sonya is a fan of Phaedra and Portia and Shamari? Is that a bad thing? No, I want to know this. In the words of Boots on the... Child, you know it's hood when I bring up Boots. In the words of Boots, honey, from Flavor of Love, in that viral clip. No, I want to know. I really want to know this. I want to know this. Bitch, I want to know. Since when is being a fan a bad thing? I think it's whatever. Let me digress because I'm hot and bothered by that because I don't like that. You a fan. Okay. I was a fan of Oprah Winfrey. And I get to create shows for her, network, and I get to work with her, and I met her, and I'm still a fan. I will always be a fan of Oprah. Always. At my big age. Y'all gotta, this is why things are weird. So based upon that, this is why I'm saying, y'all, to me, Sonya's answer was not that serious. I didn't take it as shade. Tell me what y'all think. But what I'm saying again is, Kandi, it doesn't help your case that all Sonya did was answer where this is what I think I would like to be on a show with. It goes to show you that you may have to look deep down inside yourself and say, do you like to have yes people around you? Because I don't think Sonya did anything wrong. My opinion. Anywho, one of the reasons why I really did love this episode is because I enjoyed the personal story of Kenya wanting to have another baby. You know, I'm a fan of Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore is a Detroit icon, Detroit legend. I'm a fan of hers. And I liked seeing this side of Kenya. I thought it was very, again, it was real. And you could tell Kenya's emotional was deep. And I understand where Kenya's coming from. Some of y'all on Twitter felt that, why does Kenya want to have another baby by Mark? And when she said, look, if I had a choice, and again, I want to make sure what she said. Kenya said, if I had a choice, I would want to have one baby daddy instead of multiple baby daddies. That's what she would like. And some of y'all were trying to go off on her, which I'm like, that's her choice. Y'all didn't go off on Khloe Kardashian for doing the same thing. Kim Kardashian did the same thing. Kylie Jenner did the same thing. These are women who have multiple kids by one person, despite their marital issues. And in Kylie and Travis' case, despite their issues. Kourtney's pregnant. Kourtney is the first sibling to have more than one baby daddy. That's her choice. So I didn't think there was anything wrong with that at all. Again, my opinion. Okay. One of the things that I really enjoyed about the Gucci brunch is I felt that it was the first time Sheree presented herself as an OG, as a force multiplier, as somebody who started this show and was able to be in the driver's seat. Sheree, round of applause. But I thought Sheree did a fantastic job at being the leader of the group. I want to see more of that from Sheree. I thought Sheree's behavior was stellar. the fact that she was able to bring all these girls together, and then she kicked off the conversation by getting emotional. I felt that was genuine as well. I enjoyed seeing Sheree lead the girls. Y'all love to say these other housewives on the show is the leader, and they're just not. And it's no shade. Not everybody's meant to lead. Sheree showed tonight that she needs to be in the leader seat more often, because one thing that I witnessed that I'm curious if you guys too witnessed was the fact that each one of those women respected Sheree and listened to her. They all listened to her. Sheree did an excellent job at playing neutral. She allowed people to talk. Listen, was she shading her confessionals? And that's what happens in confessionals. She doesn't know when they're going to use which clip at what scene. When Sheree was in front of those women's faces, she made sure Marlo spoke. She made sure Kandi and Sonya spoke. She made sure Kenya spoke. Marlo left. Sheree ran after her, got her to come back in the room. I enjoyed all of that. And that's the reason why I'm saying to y'all, listen, y'all may disagree with me on this one. I really did enjoy tonight's episode. It was the first episode in a long time where I felt like nobody was trying to have a moment. I felt that Marlo was being herself. I felt that Courtney was being Courtney, child. But Courtney, the jury's still out. I don't dislike you, but I got to see more. Okay? I enjoyed that scene. And I really did want Marlo and Kandi to have a one-on-one. Because to me, their issue just isn't that deep to where they can't speak to each other. There's been worse things that happened on that show where people were able to forgive each other. And I feel like there's so much forgiveness that can be handled when it comes to that issue. I think it's a non-issue. I think it's one of the things where shoulda, woulda, coulda, let's shake hands and move on from it. That's how I feel about it. But again, I thought Sheree did an excellent job displaying that she is an OG, and I want to see more of that from Sheree, because everybody respects Sheree's position, and it reminded me of when the girls respected NeNe's position. So when y'all ask about who is that anchor on the show, I even questioned it. Tonight showed me the anchor is Sheree. And Sheree needs to be put in more positions to get the girls together. And I thought it was a great scene. I did. I thought it was a great scene. So let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all disagree with me or not. I'm pretty sure some things I say, y'all gonna be like, bah! But overall, this was one of the better episodes since the premiere. It was. So, see? I gave a compliment. Will that go viral? Nope. Anywho, let me know what y'all think in the comments about tonight's episode. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification button so you do not miss an episode. And I'll catch y'all soon. Bye.